What's up, y'all? Welcome to my channel. Okay, so y'all, I decided to meal prep for the week. So I said I was gonna start doing it. Once I moved and got situated, it was good for me to start meal prepping because I'm trying to stay on task with what I eat. You know what I mean? Sometimes I do fall off the scales, but hey, I'm normal. I'm human. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do, y'all, today is meal prep some lunch, and I'm doing grilled chicken salads, and I'm gonna do it for the whole week. Yeah, I know what meal prep means. I wanted to do this because a lot of people, I feel like it is so much easier when you meal prep. A lot of things that you can incorporate, or it saves time too. Like with me, with busy schedules, I tend to skip eating sometime, and then when I do eat, hey, it's not really good food. But yeah, so I wanted some strawberries, but I don't know. The stores, I went to 3 stores and they was out of strawberries. So I had to get blueberry, raspberries, and a blackberry mix for my salad because I wanted to put something to incorporate as far as, some fruit in my salad, right? So yeah, I'm gonna wash this lettuce, and I did get a mix of spinach and field greens. And I usually chop mine up fine. I don't like it big and leafy, so I'm gonna rinse it off. So what I'm doing is rinsing it off and draining the water off of it. But this don't retain too much water. So spinach and field greens and mix like romaine, stuff like that, instead of the iceberg lettuce. I think it's a better lettuce to make salads with. You get more nutrients out of those. And I got my red onion here, which is a good way. So I'm going to show you. Yeah, and I got this from, it's a spring mix. So I got this from Walmart. And as you can see, I also got that English cucumber. If anybody know about English cucumbers, they're a little more, I don't know, they taste a little more sweeter to me. The English cucumbers taste a tad bit sweeter than a regular cucumber. And I also use them, so I bought about 2 or 3 of these because I like eating them for like a snack, like with a little ranch dipping sauce. So I got this Hidden Valley Ranch. They had Hidden Valley Ranch on sale. They had this Buffalo Ranch dipping sauce. I got that, So, when I want to snack on something instead of snacking on something sweet, I'm going to snack on this cucumber and ranch. But yeah, this is how the English cucumbers come. This is how they look. But I think they're just a little bit much more better, you know what I'm saying? And I like to leave the skin on too. So I'm going to take what I need, cut it down, and then I'm going to rinse it off and, pretty much chop it up, If anybody is interested in doing a challenge, you know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments, and we can do like healthy food challenge, or healthy weight loss challenge, anything of that nature. If y'all trying to maintain your physical, just let me know, and I'll definitely put put it in the comments. Just put it in the comments, and then I'll make sure that we can do it. Let's get a team together because it's good to start living healthy. Ain't nothing wrong with living healthier and doing things, a little healthier. Not saying that you got to be all on a strict diet, but you want to start living your life a little healthier. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to chop up my cucumbers. As you can see, I'm chopping them up pretty much fine. I like them thin slices, but I think I cut enough to go into my meal prep. I don't put a whole bunch of cucumbers in there, but I do put enough in there because I am a cucumber girl. I didn't get no tomatoes this time because I meal prepped my dinner as well, and I had tomatoes as part of my meal prep for my dinner. So I was like, yeah, that would be enough acidic, I guess that's how you say it. I did enough acidic for dinner, so I didn't do too much of tomatoes because they are full of acid, if y'all didn't know. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and chop up this cucumber, and once I get this cut, I'm gonna put it on a plate. I put everything. I went on and did all my vegetables, like did all my chopping and stuff up. So I already chopped up my lettuce, and now I'm gonna chop up these cucumbers, and pretty much I'm gonna take that onion in a minute, and I'm gonna chop that up too, and I'm gonna put it on a plate. I love cucumbers, I swear. So I'm just gonna put it on this plate right here. You know what I'm saying? Set it to the side. You know what I mean? And once you do all that, and meal prep is just exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? You just prep your stuff. If you're gonna prep it for the week or you're gonna prep it for the day, it's good that you meal prep. That way you won't overeat. You don't overeat. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna wash off my cutting board real quick before I do this onion. And I'm gonna chop half the onion, and then I'm gonna use the other half for my meal prep for dinner. I'm gonna use the other half for my meal prep for dinner. And if y'all don't know it or not, editing these videos takes so much time. It do. Editing videos, that ain't no easy task because you got to try to get everything right. Sometimes the voice ain't on, you know what I'm saying? Your voice is a little lagging, so it look like it's coming after the fact, or it ain't following the video, especially when you edit it to something like, say, CapCut or Canva or something like that. Sometimes it can lag a little bit, so just make sure that, when you do your edits, you're going back to check it before you post it, because sometimes it could be a little kilter. It could be just a little thrown off. You know what I mean? But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm pretty much going to cut this in half, right? First, I'm going to throw this away. The other stuff, the straggler. I'm going to throw this away. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this onion, this red onion, in half. And usually I like my onions grilled, but onions, they say these red onions are good for you. They say they better than the Valdelia, the white onion. So I'm like, okay, so now all I want to probably now buy is red onion. Yeah, let me wash my onion off. When I meal prep, I do use a lot of water because I like rinsing stuff. And like I say, the OCD sometimes do kick in. So I like to make sure that I'm washing off everything, making sure everything is clean and out the way, as y'all can see. But yeah, so I'm going to just dice it up in some little dices. And I'm also going to put this on the plate with my cucumbers too. You know what I mean? But yeah, so yeah, I did it. And this was my meal prep from last week. So I need to let y'all know it is last week's meal prep. So this is what I ate last week for the whole week. And my weeks have been, even though me moving, it seems like they still been busy. Like I have not had a time to shift and settle down. But I did have time. I made time to do my meal prep. I listen to a lot of my people, a lot of my content creators that I follow and that I listen to. I just listen to them. It kind of helped me get through too. You know, it helps me get through what I need to get through. So I'm gonna put this over here with the cucumbers. So when I do my meal prep, you know, it's easier to go ahead and have your stuff already sliced and diced and chopped up. That way it'll be easier for you to meal prep. It won't take that long. Oh. I'm telling you, the onions, they strong. They strong, y'all, but hey, it is what it is. I like onions. I'm not saying that I don't, but I do like the onions, you know, people. So wiping my hands, because you know the smell be strong sometimes. Now that I got all my trays settled out, now I'm gonna go ahead and put onions and my cucumbers on my meal prep, on my salad trays, as y'all can see. So that way you know if you even had enough. And I look like I had just enough. I chopped just enough onions, as y'all can see. That was just enough, y'all. And sometimes you can pretty much gauge it, like you know how much onions you want, and you know how to gauge how much you're gonna eat, as far as the cucumbers, the onions, you know, everything else that you put in the salad, you know. So as you can see, I'm just going ahead and laying my stuff on here real cute like. So I'm putting it in there. And once you do this, now let me tell y'all something about meal prepping. It saves you money too. It saves you money. You know why? Because you're not out buying fast food. And a person like me who, pretty much, is alone most of the time, other than, whatever, you have to make sure that you save where you can. You save where you can. And usually when you eat out, it's usually fast food. So you're eating out and it's not healthy food. So you want to at least incorporate 2 healthy meals. If you don't meal prep, at least incorporate 2 healthy meals a week. That's what I do, at least. But with the meal prep, it's like you doing it, So yeah, I got everything in the bowls as far as the onions and the cucumber. So now I'm going to rinse off my fruit mix, you know what I'm saying? Because I did not get a chance to I got the wipies, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's a part of my OCD is wiping. You know what I mean? I have the wiping issue, so I do wipe. You know what I mean? And it's okay. You know what I'm saying? You learn to deal with it. You can't help it. So yeah, so I'm gonna rinse these off too, because fresh fruit sometimes, it have that look like it had that residue or something on there, you know what I mean? But I definitely wanted to put some fresh fruit in my salads. I did, because I really wanted the strawberries. But they didn't have no strawberries. I went to Publix, I went to Walmart, and there was another grocery store here. Oh, Food Lion. I went to Food Lion, and they did not have no strawberries. And I was like, ain't that something? But I thought this little mix right here would take it out, and I think it's good for meal prepping, because all I needed was that. You know what I'm saying? And that basically was enough for all 5 of my days, because I meal prep Monday through Friday. Sometimes people do it 3 days at a time. You could do 2 days at a time, but I did it for the whole entire week, right? So yeah, so I'm just gonna lay this fruit on here. And actually, the fruit actually gives it color. These raspberries, it's gonna give it a little color to it. You know what I mean? It's gonna look really cute if you go ahead and just put you some fruit in there. And it also is a fruit berries especially, is an antioxidant. It helps you, with your digestive system. If anybody didn't know that, fruit, berries like blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, berries of that sort is an antioxidant. So it's going to help with your digestive system. And I think I like that, because, when you get older, sometimes your digestive system is not as effective as it is when you were younger. So sometimes you have to eat foods or incorporate foods that's going to help you be able to digest things more easier. You know what I'm saying? Or, I'm just keep it real. Go to the bathroom, because some of us suffer from constipation or anything. You know what I mean? So we have to start incorporating foods that's going to be good for the digestion. That's how I see it. So, but yeah. So I know that I have been doing these cooking videos for quite some time, and I have been slacking, but I think I'm going to get back into it. Somebody, I guess, challenged me, so I guess I could do a few cooking videos. So this is just my lunch prep. I am going to do my meal prep for a dinner at I'm gonna try to edit it later on, but child, I'm telling you, these edits. So I'm going to put some grilled chicken in here, y'all. Grilled chicken strips. I'm gonna make sure I put some grilled chicken in here. And this is going to, but I also put cheese in here, but it's the type of cheese that I use. I use feta cheese. I didn't use the shredded cheese. I use feta cheese because feta cheese is more healthier, if y'all didn't know that. Feta cheese is a little more, and it's a little more Greek, but it's healthier than just regular shredded cheese, like the mild or the sharp cheddar cheese. The feta cheese is more healthier. It is a white cheese, and it comes in like little curdles, so they kind of look like blue cheese without the blue strips, but it's really like feta cheese, and they put feta cheese on. I know I eat feta cheese, like if I'm getting a gyro or gyro, however y'all want to say it. If I'm eating one of those, I like to have the feta cheese on my stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, the feta cheese is the healthier one. So I'm just gonna even it up, real nicely, and make sure that I'm touching every point, And, I'm actually breaking some of them down, you know what I mean? So they won't be so long. So into little cubes, basically, into little cubes. So you can spread it out evenly, and I'm making sure that, each salad have the equal amount of proportion, and that's also a good thing with meal prep. You know what I'm saying? You proportion your meals. Your meals are proportioned when you meal prep. Believe it or not, people don't understand that, but people say, oh, it's too much time, it's time consuming. But if you go ahead and meal prep for the week, guess what? You ain't got to worry about it, the rest of the week. You ain't got to worry about what you eat. And like, damn, what I'm eating for lunch? Oh, I got some salads in the refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? But, a lot of people ain't going to understand that. A lot of people ain't going to understand that, but it is what it is. Just go ahead and do your meal prep. And here's my feta cheese, and I got the big one too because I like feta cheese. I like cheese, even though, they say it's really not good for your cholesterol, but I like feta cheese. You know what I mean? And I'm doing this so I can crumble it up just a tad bit more, because it does have these big old, they got big knots in it. So all you got to do is make sure that you're evenly spreading this. Yeah, so I'm evenly spreading my feta cheese on my salad. Now I'm done with that. And pretty much that's all I needed. That's all I needed for the salad. I did get some nice vinaigrette from Cuzzn. If y'all have heard of Cuzzn dressings, Kens, they had this raspberry, walnut, vinaigrette. I got that one. I got the regular vinaigrette, the balsamic vinaigrette. I'm trying different vinaigrettes, but I also got my ranch, y'all. I had to get my ranch too. So I did get ranch, but I did get several different vinaigrettes because I wanted to try the vinaigrettes on my salad just to see how, what they taste like, you know what I mean? So each day I could do a different vinaigrette. If that makes any sense. So I'm just wiping down everything and washing. My grandmother always told my mama, always clean up as you go. Just clean up as you go, you know what I mean? And you won't have to worry about too much, you know what I mean? Just clean up as you go. And that makes for good housekeeping as well. Makes for good housekeeping if you clean up as you go. So now that I'm done, I want to show y'all the finished product. These are the salads. And I set one to the side because I'm going to be eating it. You know what I mean? Because it's Monday. So I'm sitting one to the side. But yes, my 5 salads. My meal prep, y'all. I really appreciate y'all coming and support my channel. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, y'all. I am going to do my dinner meal prep so y'all can see what I cooked for dinner last week, what I ate. And just know that when you meal prep, it's easier. Oops, my camera fell, y'all. I'm sorry. But it's easier to maintain. It helps you save money. You could also make sure that you eating properly and you're not overeating because everything is prepped, and you could control how much food you taking in through the day. Final product, y'all. I want to thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all so much. And if y'all want more videos like this, just let me know. And I got you. Peace. Have a good day. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, Vibing with TC Chronicle. I love y'all. Yeah, y'all, I did that. Have a good day, y'all. Peace.